everybody, it's Christina at Scrapcraft and Stitchery. I am just starting to work on the prompt for today, which is bird. And my plan for today is there is a story which comes from the indigenous people of maybe the Pacific Northwest about the raven. And the raven is thought to have brought light to the world. I think there's different versions of this story, and I don't pretend to know them all, but the story that I have heard as I remember it is that there was an old man and he had the sun stored up in the rafters of his home, and the man, and I think the daughter was involved, the beloved granddaughter came and took the sun out of the rafters, and she had changed into a raven. And flew up into the rafters of the house and freed the sun from the rafters. And this is why the raven has turned black, is that the raven was a brightly colored bird that flew into the sun in order to bring light to the world. And I know that I'm kind of mixing this up, but that is kind of the story that I am going with for this page, and it is a story about bringing light to the world. So I'm just going to paint a sun here. My page is already very dark, and that is way more orange than I want. For this, eventually, what I would kind of like is get this symbol of just some light beginning to peek through the darkness. Hey everybody, I am putting this video out late, and there's a reason for it, which I'll explain at the end, but I'm going to go through this and I'll explain to you what I've done. So here I'm just continuing to work with the yellow and the orange and adding a little bit of white and blending it all in to build kind of some layers of color in the sun. And I have this stencil with 3 birds, and one of them kind of looks like a raven, so that's the one I'm choosing for this page. I thought about using the one that's more a bird in flight, it's kind of a pretty bird, but I decided to stick with the raven because I thought it was the most appropriate for this page and what I was going for. I do have 2 different blacks, and I am using the bone black, which is very opaque and gives really good coverage for the outline of the stencil. And then I go back and I paint it in with another more transparent carbon black, and I also add a little bit of water to it so you can see through it and see some of the detail in the stencil. I really like how the bird came out silhouetted against the sun, as if it was you're just seeing a silhouette that's really strongly backlit, and I liked that idea for this page, and that's one of the things I really like about this page. I have this feather from a coloring book that I'm painting in, and to symbolize the transformation in the story, I painted half of it black and I painted half of it in magenta and teal. These are colors that I really like to work with. These are probably some of my favorite colors to work with, so they are pretty complementary colors being close together on the color wheel, so they go really well together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of, I'm adding interference blue to this because bird feathers are often iridescent, and this will change the color of the, doesn't really have any color itself, this interference blue paint that I'm adding, but it does add some iridescence, and it will change the color of what you put it on, so that's kind of fun thing to play with. And you can see that it's a little bit shiny, a little bit iridescent, and then I added some gold metallic paint just to the center part of this feather. I'm sure that has a name. And then I do a little bit of black border and add a sentiment. And so I was late posting this partially because I just didn't know how to finish this page, and I looked at it and it just seems like it's missing something. I think I got kind of in a rush and I didn't add any texture or anything to the background, and I think that that's really what's missing. It just looks very flat, and so I really didn't want to post this, and I really want to go back and do it, and I kind of want to keep moving forward. So I had to make a decision, and the decision I made is I will probably go back and redo this page. I think I am definitely going to go back and redo this page, and I will post the video when I do it. I'm just going to keep the same idea, but add some background before I start, and then maybe add more details as I go along, because I'm just really not satisfied, and I thought a lot about how to fix it by adding border or adding more detail, but it just seems like a place where I need to start over. So that's what I'm going to do. See, not even Grandma approves. And there are things I like about this page. I like the bird silhouetted against the sun, because I think it really talks to the story about the raven bringing the light to the world and becoming a blackbird after that. But also it just seems kind of like I haven't added enough to this, and I don't want to add it in now, so I think I'm just going to paint over it and refinish it. And the reason I am posting this is because, you know, I don't always get it right. I usually just kind of turn the page and move on, but in this case, you know, something doesn't go right. I'm gonna go back and fix this later. I think that's one of the great things about a junk journal, and that's why I don't generally redo pages, is because these are places for me to come and play and learn and do something that I haven't done before. And if it doesn't come out right, then that's okay, and it's just part of the journey and it's part of the story. And that's really what I love. One of the things I love most about junk journaling is that it's kind of low pressure, because you can always just turn the page and move on. And does it really matter? And in this case, I'm deciding it does really matter. And so if that's true, I'll come back and fix this. And if it's not, and I decide this is okay, then I think that that's okay too. It's a very forgiving and wonderful place to work. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. And I hope you are having a wonderful day. Please be sure to, if you find value here, please, you know, subscribe and like this video. And I will see you tomorrow for day 19, I believe, which is teabag. And I have a fabulous page planned for that. And I think it's going to go really well. So come back and watch that. I'll post when I redo this page, and we'll all just keep moving forward. Bye!